welcome to What's New. We have two guests tonight, and ours, you want to introduce them?
Sure. Okay, we have Linda Pritchard. She is going to talk about weight loss and nutrition. And she's also starting a business in town, and she'll tell you more about that. And it's got to do with her weight loss and nutrition. And she has a BS in dietetics, is that how you say it? Okay. And we have Ian Fisher, and he graduated from Valley High School, and he's an artist. And he's a musical artist also.
And all around the world.
And he travels the world. So welcome to you guys. And who wants to go first? Doesn't matter.
I don't mind.
Okay.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
Well, you can tell us about what you've been doing.
Well, I mean, I guess since I graduated Valley, there have been a few things that happened. Yeah, I went to Webster. I studied politics. I got tired of that and graduated and moved to Europe. I moved to Vienna, Austria. And since I moved there in 2008, I've basically been playing music professionally, full-time, overtime, for the last 4 years, traveling around.
That's great. And what inspired you to go?
To Europe?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of different things, so many things. It's impossible to pinpoint one, but I was just curious, and yeah.
Wanted a different lifestyle?
I mean, you could have a different lifestyle anywhere, but yeah, I guess the basic things were just going to a place where there was a different type of infrastructure. Like, it's just society is structured different, and the cities are structured differently, and the history is different. Everything's a little different.
Especially they make use of their old buildings, don't they?
Yeah.
Their older buildings.
Not everywhere.
Not
But-
everywhere?
Yeah. Like
They don't tear them down as much as we do.
well, different countries tear them down just as much as they do
Do
in
they?
the U.S., but some countries are really protective of it. Yeah, it varies, because Europe is a really diverse place. Very, very diverse.
And the towns are all pretty close together.
Yeah, that's another reason. Since I play music professionally and travel constantly, it makes much more sense for me to live in a place where the cities are closer and where I can travel by train. Because
No, it's beautiful over there, isn't it?
parts,
Yeah.
some parts.
You get on that
not so
fast train?
beautiful. Oh, sometimes.
The most
We were on that one night and almost missed it. And it really jumped fast.
Where were you?
We were in Paris and then we
Mm.
went to southern France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Well, would you want to play some music for us?
If you want to hear some music.
Okay.
Of course we do. And also I might mention that Ian writes music also. Most of his numbers are self-written, right?
Yeah, that's what I do for a living. Yeah, I've written.
Now you
hundreds
didn't
of
tell
songs.
us that a minute ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
We just learned all kinds of
Now
stuff by
he'll all find out all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've written probably nearly 1,000 songs.
Oh my
I've
goodness.
recorded, well, 8 albums of my own, and if you include the other bands that I'm in, 12. And I played 115 concerts last year in 10 countries.
Isn't that wonderful?
Wow, great.
A lot of
That
work.
is great.
I'm not just sitting on my hands.
Your mother and father are glad to hear that.
Yeah. They just wish I would get paid a little bit more.
Yeah, but money's not everything.
Oh, that's very true. At least that's what I try to tell myself.
Yeah.
It helps, like
Yeah.
my husband
When you're
always
real
says, but
hungry,
it helps.
when you're real hungry or don't have a new outfit, it doesn't help too much.
No.
Yeah, I'm not that much of a starving artist yet. though.
Oh, okay.
Thankfully.
Do you still do painting or?
A little bit. Sometimes I sketch, but I really don't paint as much as I used to in
You
high
don't.
school when I was in contact with the Artist Guild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are the three of you in the Artist Guild, or only you?
Marianne and I are, yeah.
I'm not talented.
Yeah, you are.
You
You know
take
the
some
math.
lessons.
That's about it.
Are the first Fridays still going on?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes.
Year round?
They quit in let's see, December, January, and February. There aren't any.
Okay.
Or
So
let's see,
maybe
December and January. February will be the first one.
some- Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be here for that. I go back early February
Yeah.
when we're
Oh.
touring. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. And so, do you still live in Indiana?
Well, the last 2 years I've lived in Berlin, Germany, and but I think I might move back to Vienna. But I've been spending a lot of time in Paris lately, so
I hear you have a girlfriend there, huh?
yeah, in Paris.
I was gonna ask him if you had a girlfriend.
Yeah, his grandmother told me that.
What, does she like you being over here for so long?
Not very much, but
Okay,
yeah, you have to make compromises.
oh, yes.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense for me to come back to Missouri for a few days when it costs $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I always like to come over for a while. Yeah, but if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Where's your first tour?
Where did I first tour?
Where's your first tour going to be?
When I get back?
Mhm.
Well, the first thing that I'm going to do is go to see my girlfriend in France.
Well, yes.
And you best better.
Yeah. And then I'll go back to, well, I fly into Vienna, then I fly to Paris, and then I fly back to Vienna. And I think that's, no, I think I go to Innsbruck and then Graz, Austria and Germany, basically, in a nutshell.
Great.
That's the first one.
You have quite a few lined up for this year?
Yeah, I think I have 30 booked for the next 3 months or so.
Wow. Great, that's wonderful.
Yeah, but there should be more.
Yeah, you want to do the nightly thing, huh? Almost nightly.
Well, if I don't have to organize everything. That's the hardest part, booking concerts. It's like
Oh, I
applying
bet.
to a job every day, just on a small scale. Oh,
Busy guy, huh?
yeah.
And
That's
that's
good,
good.
Yep.
Keeps the mind fresh.
Not very much. I usually sit on the computer and just send the same email.
Like, copy paste, copy paste.
Uh,
So,
Yeah, so if you want to
yeah, I could
play something for us, that'd be great.
Play one of your originals, one of yours.
Happily. I could play a newer one that I wrote a few months ago. A friend of mine gave me a book, and in the front of the book she had written the words to my friend Ian, who has cities alive in his head. And I thought, that's nice.
Oh.
Hold on. Okay, that's better now. I got cities alive in my head, stretched out on unmade beds, flowing away from me like the things I read, but forgot, then discovered again. How the keys change, but the name stays. And the way I feel now is no longer the same as how I felt yesterday. I got 7 names on a list, counting them down so I don't forget what I do and don't regret. And the sources to songs I've written, how the keys change, but the name stays. And the way I feel now is no longer the same as how I felt yesterday. I've grown used to not being here, living in cities between my ears, growing away from a God I fear, losing myself, becoming a man. how the names change of the games I play, and the way I feel now is no longer the same as how I felt yesterday. With this way I feel now, I can no longer say if I was better off yesterday. With this way I feel now, I can no longer say if I was better off. If I was better off. If I was better off.
That's pretty.
Thank you.
Nice melody, nice voice.
Thanks.
That's when you wrote.
Mhm.
Great.
Thank you.
Like the words for that one.
I do too.
Got another one in your head?
I have thousands of songs. Yeah.
We have time for him to do some.
Let's see. Yeah, oh, yeah. We got time for one more song from you.
Okay. Let's see.
Unless you want to tell us something first.
I'm not good with talking.
You're not good with talking, just singing? Well, you're great with that.
I mean, if you want to ask questions, I'll happily answer them. It's just when I just have to talk, I always feel like I'm really full of myself.
That's okay if you're full of yourself. You deserve it.
That's right.
You can be full of yourself on our program. We like that.
When a hometown boy makes good, you know.
That's right. That's
We
right.
want to talk about it.
And everybody is interested in it also.
I hope so. Some people are. Some people aren't, though.
Oh,
That's all right.
Well, that's with everything.
But that's their loss.
That's true. That is very true. Like they had Jim Akins dead, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they had Jim Akins dead. And
So he
we,
came and
we brought
played
him back
Sing Was
alive.
we told him he's alive.
Yeah.
He's here.
Yeah, but I'm sure a few people thought I was dead too. I've been away so long.
Yeah, could be too.
Well, last time
All you have to
sometimes
do is
when you
come on
played
our
and we
show
got
and
you-
you'll
I
be
got
back
you
alive.
We reincarnate you.
Was that out at the nursing home?
No. Where was it he played that guy's 2 CDs?
Because I would play up at the nursing home for my grandpa when he was there.
Senior citizen moment.
I forget those too.
Oh, that's right. Cleet was up at the rest home. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I know I got 2 of your CDs. I know that much. I got 2 of them. So play us another song.
Let's see. I could either play one of mine, but maybe I just learned a new song a few days ago.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to forget it, but I really like it.
Boy, that sounds
We'll
familiar.
deal with it.
Yeah.
And
Jim
see,
forgot some of his too.
well, it's not mine. It's an old song. It's actually the state song of Missouri. The Missouri Waltz.
Oh, the
Oh,
Missouri Waltz.
Waltz, okay.
Well, what if Jim forgot something that he started playing? He said, I don't know if I know that one. He kind of hummed the
Yeah,
word.
that's right.
I might do a little bit of that.
That's okay. We don't mind at all.
We don't mind.
We're a loose operation here.
That's how this song will be. It could be your theme song.
Okay.
Hush, by my baby, slumber time is coming soon. Rest your head upon my breast, my mama hums a tune. The Sandman is calling, the shadows are falling, as soft breezes sigh.
long gone by. Way down in Missouri where I heard this melody, and I was just a little child on my mama's knee. The old folks were humming, the banjos were strumming so sweet and hush by my baby, go to sleep on mama's knee. Journey back to Dixieland again in dreams of green. It seems like your mama was there once again, and them old folks were humming the same old refrain. Way down in Missouri where I heard this lullaby, while the stars were twinkling and the moon was rising high. The old folks were humming, the banjos were strumming so sweet and low. The old folks were humming, the banjos were strumming so sweet and low. I hear them voices from days long ago, singing hush,
Oh, that was beautiful.
I haven't heard that forever. And I knew all the words. I was the old folks at home.
Oh. So you're gonna be home then until February, the first part of February?
Yep, February 7th.
Are you gonna be performing any place?
I play 2 shows in St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
I play one this Saturday on the 12th, and then I play one on the 24th at Off-Broadway. That one's going to be important. But it's on a Thursday, so it might be tough for people to come to. But, yeah,
Where's the one, the 12th going to be?
at this place called the Firebird. And then I play some cover songs out in Farmington at, I think, 12 West on February 1st.
Oh,
If you want to come to that. And I also think that I'll play some songs for my grandma at the nursing home in early February. She's not at the nursing home, but she always wants me to play there.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Mooney always wants me to play there too. So I have to go up there or else she'll hunt me down.
Oh, yeah, you don't wanna cross grandmas.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's one person you don't wanna cross.
and that one's going to be in February in Farmington?
Yeah, on the first day of February. I think it's a Friday or a Saturday.
And where's that going to
Friday,
be
I
at?
believe it
At
is.
12 West.
It's
It's right
Friday.
across the street
Friday.
from the entrance of the courthouse.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's right downtown.
okay, I know where that's at. I'm gonna put that down. So I remember that.
And you gotta write it down to
I
remember
got
it.
it. You better believe it.
Oh,
Well, me too.
oh.
I write everything down at night, so I'm gonna do the next day.
Yeah, I even get out of bed and do that.
I write
Now-
songs like that.
No,
You write
I'm
songs
not
like that?
bad like that
No,
yet.
you're not that bad yet, but I'm older than you are. You just Just you wait, lady. You got a couple more years to catch me.
Lord.
Oh, you got quite a few catch me.
Let's stop with the age. Oh,
I'm not saying anything.
Well, you're a white lady.
oh. Well, thank
Yeah.
you very much, Ian, for coming in.
Yeah, if you want to stick around for a little bit and maybe play another song.
You can find out all about high blood pressure, getting control of diabetes. All
Getting
kinds
on a
of things
diet.
Linda's gonna tell us about.
You don't have to
Nest.
worry about that just
Not
yet.
I
yet,
know.
no, you're
Yeah,
nice
you
and
probably
thin
know
and
somebody who
slim.
does, I'll bet.
That's good.
Okay, Linda, you want to give us a rundown on what you're up to?
What I'm up to? Well, I thought maybe I'd start out. As she mentioned earlier, I do have a Bachelor of Science degree in dietetics. I graduated in December of 2000. And since then, I have worked in the Women, Infants, and Children's nutrition program. I worked in Park Hills for a while, and also worked in Cape Girardeau. And in that capacity, I also worked as a dietary manager and assistant manager. My last job, I worked at the hospital in Chester, where I was a diet tech. So I did a lot of nutrition education with patients. So that was one of the main things I did when I was there. You happened to mention, high blood pressure and diabetes. The majority of people who have diabetes are usually type 2 diabetics, and weight is very much a part of why people do get type 2 diabetes. And we're having such an epidemic these days of children who are overweight that they're starting to see the adult onset diabetes in children now.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah. So, weight loss, probably the best motivator, I think, for a lot of people is their health. Like I said, high blood pressure and diabetes. If you lose, like, let's say you weigh 200 pounds and you lose like 20 pounds of that, that's like a 10% weight loss. That can actually help you improve your high blood pressure or your diabetes. As a matter of fact, I've run across a couple of articles recently where they talk about actually reversing type 2 diabetes by losing weight and watching what you eat. So.
Yeah, they say that if you lose enough weight, a lot of people don't have to take medicine.
My
Yeah,
dad
boy.
never did take medicine.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, if
Yeah,
they're
never did.
good about watching what they eat, they can control it just with diet.
He was on the borderline, he controlled it with his diet.
Okay, yeah. And a lot of people can, but then, it depends on how severe it is. Weight loss can be a big part of that.
And what's the difference in the types of diabetes?
Type 2 diabetes, like I said, is usually found in adults, and a lot of times it's because they're overweight. It just stresses the body to where it. In type 2 diabetes, they have what's called insulin resistance. What happens is the body cannot use the insulin that it's making, so you have to compensate for that through diet or medications. Type 1 diabetes is a little different. It's more frequently found in younger people, and that's where the body doesn't make enough insulin to begin with. It's just
So that's
something that
more of a
sometimes happens.
More of a genetic thing.
Yeah, it can be. There does tend to be a genetic factor in diabetes. So, and then high blood pressure, it can actually be controlled through diet as well. Not just weight loss, but there's something also called the DASH diet. It stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, and you can find information about that on the National Heart, Blood, and Lung Institute website. If you do a search for that, you can find that. It is primarily a diet where they emphasize low-fat dairy products, lean meats, legumes like your cooked beans, nuts, and fruits and vegetables. The combination of the potassium and other vitamins and minerals and nutrients in that type of a diet can actually help lower your blood pressure. Of course, they also emphasize, not going overboard on your salt too. So,
Now, I was reading the other day that most people are low on iodine. Have you heard that?
I haven't run across that recently.
I read that on the internet. Of course, everything on the internet is true.
Oh, yes.
I just heard that it wasn't.
That's why I said it
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Yeah,
It said, don't believe everything you hear.
exactly.
Yeah.
When it comes to nutrition, if you want to go online and find information, there are different types of websites you probably want to be looking for. You have like .com. You may not always want to believe everything you read on those because those are usually commercial sites and they're trying to sell you something, like a supplement or something for weight loss or whatever. And if you want some good solid information, you want to look for the .gov, which are government sites. Those usually have pretty good solid information. And your .edu, those are your educational, like college websites, so those usually have pretty good, reliable information as well. So, like you said, you can't always believe everything you read on the internet. I mean, to be quite honest, to have a website, you just need money and you need to know how to run the software to put up the website. And to be honest, it's so easy these days. You could probably take a 12-year-old that could do it better than we could.
Oh, definitely. They can do anything
It's
better than we can.
it's not that expensive. Actually, I did have a website this past year, but I've decided to discontinue that because I want to do some certification this year, so I need to study for that, and I'm not going to have time to do the website.
The website's time consuming.
It can be,
Very
yeah.
much. Yeah.
But I was able to learn a few new things, and I was able to pass on some information that I already knew or some new things I was learning. And so, it was a good experience for me. But like I said, unfortunately, I just can't continue doing it and keep up with some other things I got to do. Like take care of my grouchy husband. For those who didn't know, he broke his.
You know he's going to hear that.
Yeah, he's gonna hear it and he's gonna say,
He knows it's true. But the poor guy's broke his ankle, so he's not.
I liked his picture on Facebook with his red legs sticking out.
Oh, yes. Exactly. Matter of fact, he gave me something this morning I thought was kind of interesting. There are a lot of products out there that can help you lose weight. And this is one I had not heard of. It's called it's something from Happy Labs is the name of the company. And it's called a Happy Fork.
my fork is always happy.
Mine is too.
Here to here to here.
Basically what it is, it's a fork. It has some electronics in it. And if you start to eat too fast, it'll vibrate and it'll flash at you to let you know you're eating too fast. Because, we found through research over the years that the slower you eat, the easier it is. Yeah, you're going to eat less because it gives the body time to get that signal that says, I'm full.
Is that like 20 minutes?
Yeah, it takes about 20 minutes. So,
I'm the slowest eater in the world.
well, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But I think there's also an app that goes with it that kind of track it for you. It'll let you know about approximately when you start eating, when you finish eating, how many bites of food you're taking. So it's kind of a lot more of a high-tech thing.
So we need a Happy Fork.
Did Don find this for
Yeah,
you?
John happened to run across it, and he knew I was going to be on here now. I said,
Boy, Don, you are a good help for the
yes,
meantime.
he is. He's always bringing me information he finds. But there's other things. I brought a few visual aids today. But you can find items that are used for portion control. What this is a little pasta basket, and on the inside of the basket are some markings for like 1 or 2 servings of pasta. So you just put your pasta in there and you boil it in there. So when you're done, you just lift it out and you've got like your 1 or 2 servings of pasta.
Is that one serving?
There's lines that mark the servings on the inside. So
I'd eat the whole thing.
Well, me too. I was gonna say, that's gotta be, can't do that. That's gotta be more than one serving.
Well, yeah, like I said, there's a marking in here, I think it's like way down here.
Oh,
About
gosh.
there, that shows you the one serving size.
So that's
And
probably 3.
You notice that the handle has a hole in it? That's actually for your, like your spaghetti and linguine or your skinny pastas. And what I found was kind of convenient about this particular little gadget is you can buy 2 or 3 of these and you can cook more than one kind of pasta in there. You can put like your long pasta down in the bottom,
Yeah.
and then you could put like some kind of a macaroni or a rotini or something.
Yeah.
And the other ones, you can cook 3 at the same time, and just like I say, you lift it out and then you got your pasta. So, and they also have, for a lot of people, the biggest problem and that a lot of people have is just figuring out portion sizes. That is probably one of the biggest downfalls that we have when we're trying to lose weight is, figuring out what a portion size is. They have plates now that you can buy. They actually are divided for you and have visuals on them. Like half of the plate is your non-starchy vegetables, things like broccoli, tomatoes, peppers, that kind of thing. Or, like a tossed salad. So half of your plate is marked off for salad or green veggie. Then you have another quarter of your plate that would be like for a starch, and then another quarter of your plate that would be like for your protein. So it kind of helps you visualize what a proper serving size would be and how to eat more healthy. They also have these, it's a circle, a plastic circle, it has cutouts in it. And these are proportion control as well. The nice thing about that is, you don't have to have a special plate, you just have to have a plate that's big enough for this thing to fit on, and you can portion it out in these little cutouts. And they have they have like for starch and fruits and veggies, and then they have like a half cup marking, and then there's like up at the top would be like a full cup. So it's another tool you can use to kind of, figure out your portions. So, these things can range anywhere. Like, I forget what I paid for this. I'm guessing it was about $15 maybe for that. But those portion things run about 20, I think. But they were hard, sturdy plastic, so they're gonna last a long time. But you can use that to portion more than one plate to do that. So those are some tools you can get. There's other things out there. If you take a look out on the internet, I'm sure you can find plenty of stuff out there. There's always somebody coming up with a new idea when it comes to weight loss.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's the biggest thing around.
Biggest money maker there is.
yeah, it is.
For sure.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff out there that are just kind of gimmicks. You hear about fad diets. Well, they kind of come, those are the diets that just kind of come and go. They're popular for a while, and then you don't hear too much about them. Some of them, they probably work, but, working in the dietary field, you can kind of spot the bad ones a mile away. You really want to have a diet that's going to be well balanced. You want to include fruits and vegetables, certainly, some lean proteins, and you'd want grains. I know there are a lot of diets out there these days that, it's like, oh, don't eat carbs, those are bad for you.
But you need some carbs.
Yeah, that's what the body runs on. So, you just really gotta, like I said, again, the portions, the number of portions, and it's better to make them whole grain, because whole grains have fiber in them, and fiber helps fill you up. It takes longer to digest, so you're not hungry as quickly. So some of the things that we've heard over the years about diet, they die, those old ideas kind of die hard. They really do. I know a lot of people think, well, fat's bad for you, but to be quite honest, you need some fat, just to have your body function properly. And actually healthy fats, you need some of those because they also help you to stay, full longer as well. Your healthy fats would be things like, well, of course, we've all heard about canola oil and olive oil being really healthy for you. But also things like nuts, just a handful, small handful of nuts. and, you know, if you get hungry, they make a really good snack, you know, it takes you a while to chew them, and then it takes a while for them to digest, and, you know, they're basically a healthy food, and
Well,
a lot of
that's-
dieters shy away from
Yeah,
them.
that's like butter. They say years ago, butter was a no-no.
Mhm.
Now they're saying eat butter, not man-made
Yeah.
margarine.
The trans fat.
Because you don't know how long that's gonna take to break down and
Did
stuff.
you ever see how it sticks on a bowl and how hard it is to
no.
wash out?
Yeah, it's not very good.
No,
Well,
it
you know,
isn't. And butter goes much quicker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I always
it does have a good flavor to it, but, you know, you wanna be reasonable about it.
Yeah.
Because it does have saturated fat, which can be kind of difficult for the circulatory system, so, like for instance, you know, it can add some flavor to whatever you're making. I'll make these, biscuits, like you get at Red Lobster, the cheddar garlic biscuits.
Oh, no.
But, yeah, well, what I do is I buy the low-fat baking mix, or biscuit type mix. I'll use that, and then I use 2% milk cheese. It's lower in fat than your regular cheeses, and so I make my biscuits with that. And then when you finish the biscuits, normally you brush some margarine with some garlic powder in it. Well, you know, even though you've got the low-fat cheese in there, if you use just a little, you know, just a little bit of butter and garlic on the top, it adds a whole new flavor
Oh,
to it.
yeah.
I kind of like to use the 2% cheese because it does tend to have a little more flavor than the fat-free cheeses, and it melts better. And I usually go for the sharp cheddar cheese because it's got a lot more flavor to it, so you're gonna get a lot, you know, it's gonna be tastier than
Yeah.
some of the milder, lower fat cheeses, so.
They always advertise Nutrisystem. Is that
Uh-huh.
really a good dietary thing? I mean, diet? There's so many diet plans out there. You
Yeah,
really
you're
don't know
right, there
which
are a lot of
good.
diet plans out there. It's probably a pretty decent diet. The way that's set up is they basically do most of your meats, I guess. I was looking into it, so they would basically do your entrees, I think they do some shakes,
Desserts.
you get desserts. I mean, you get most of the more, less perishable things in there. But you also have to take into account that you have to buy your own vegetables and fresh fruits and
Yes.
milk, so that's gonna be an added cost on those. But, I mean, it's probably a fairly healthy diet, I would say.
If it makes you eat better.
Yeah, and it's, you know, what they send you is gonna be portion control, so, it's helpful.
Yeah.
Are any of the diets that you're looking into, do they talk at all about organically grown fruits and vegetables, or like free-range chickens and things like that?
I know some of them do, but, it's not really that big an issue if you're trying to lose weight, not really. I think it's just kind of a personal preference, you know.
Yeah, there's a big article not that long ago that organic grown stuff was not what they've been talking about.
No, I don't
lately
think
that-
it's all, that it's cracked up to be,
Uh-uh.
to what most people think it should be, or what they think
And
it is.
they said that one of the reasons is they tax such a high price on that
Well,
stuff.
they do.
in the
I
stores.
think the problem is that it's more, they have to put more work into it, so it makes it more expensive.
And
I
the only
think-
good thing about it is it doesn't have the insecticides.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think we
There's
got
no stain in your
scared
body.
over the insecticides
Yeah.
over the years, stuff that people were putting on their gardens. But they're not doing that as much.
Mhm.
They outlawed so much of that.
Yeah, they have, but,
So.
I'm still skeptical of
you're
it.
still skeptical? Well, like I said, it's kind of a personal choice.
And the organic?
No, I'm not skeptical of organic foods.
Okay.
If
You're
my-
skeptical of
My
the
mother, yeah.
commercially, normal commercially grown food items, and.
Yeah, because of all the chemicals they put in it, especially when it comes to meats. The
Oh,
way
that's
that,
awful.
the
Oh,
way that
yeah.
cattle and chicken are
I
raised.
really wish that they would raise cattle and poultry differently. I'm really, I guess my main concern is the antibiotics. They use way too
Right.
many antibiotics.
Yeah,
It would
you
be
don't
better
really
if
know
you
what you're
didn't.
getting.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Well,
you
and
said,
we've
it's
had
just
so
all
many
that stuff.
scares this past couple years
Mhm.
over our cantaloupes, our
Right.
lettuce and spinaches and
Mhm,
even our
exactly.
peanut butter, you know, they're scaring us.
Yeah, the peanut butter just really kind of shocked me because,
Yeah.
you know, it's been, they go through all this processing and stuff, and I didn't really follow that one up to see where that was actually coming from. I don't know if it was something else they were processing, I
Yeah.
don't recall. But you usually typically see that more with meats and poultry and
I like my
sometimes
peanut
produce.
butter.
One thing,
It's really fat, but that's good.
well, one thing you can do as far as your health, food safety issues with your fruits and vegetables, you can, put a little bit of lemon juice and some water in a container and kind of soak your vegetables and fruits
Yeah.
a little bit. That can
Ooh.
that actually helps get rid of some of the
And don't-
germs and things that might be on it. I mean, I can't guarantee it's gonna get rid of everything, but it would help.
And some of them even say soapy water, just wash it,
Yeah,
like your oranges.
I don't want soapy water on my
No, I mean,
vegetables.
they do
Not
actually make,
vegetables, on oranges and apples and
Oh,
stuff, to get the
wow.
wax and the,
Yeah.
and the
but they
stuff
do
off of it.
actually make,
You wash your hands and eat.
they make like vegetable
A wash,
washes.
yeah.
Yeah, there are some out there that you can use, so, you're gonna get, better cleanliness of your produce that way.
The best thing is to grow your own in a garden.
As long as you don't have animals wandering
Do you
around
grow
in there.
your own?
I
Do
don't
you
have,
have?
I don't have a place to live.
He probably
I mean,
doesn't have
Oh.
time.
I'm gonna have a garden this year. I'm gonna have a garden this year.
I thought maybe you'd have container, you know what I'm talking about?
No,
Big
I would
pots.
love to. I mean, well, out on the farm, when I come back to Missouri, I would have plenty of space, but I'm
Oh,
only
yeah.
here for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this, like growing your own food and also locally grown stuff is a huge issue in a lot of the cities that I'm in, like in Berlin and Vienna and New York and Paris. Like a lot of people are really, really interested in buying locally produced produce and meats. Like this is a huge issue because it's not so much for dietary reasons, but more like,
Health
and not
issues.
even health, but just being environmentally conscious because the average piece of fruit travels 10
Oh,
times
yes,
more
yes.
than the average human being in their lifetime. And like this is really not a very healthy environmental plan.
Yeah.
Like, and also to support the local economy. It makes much more sense to buy an apple from someone in your own country than to pay less money to actually have it shipped across the planet.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
So
Well, this year, our peach season lasted a long, long time. The farmer's market here had peaches for months, and they were so good this year. They weren't shipped in, they were picked, like the night before
yeah,
and
that's
brought.
perfect.
Oh my Lord, they
And
just,
A lot of
Yeah,
people
the-
that I talk to, a lot of people that I talk to talk about having diets where they only eat things that are grown in their area and that are in season. Like there are some grocery stores that I know of in some of these bigger cities that only stock things that are in season in that region.
oh,
They talk about how like this, some people believe that like the body has this natural cycle that it's only supposed to consume that which grows around it in that environment at that time of year.
could be
That's
right.
kind of like Dr. DeGeneres said when I was worried about my son not eating right. He said, just let him go,
He'll eat when he's hungry.
No, he'll eat the
Exactly.
foods, he'll change his foods. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he said, because their body's calling for it.
Mhm.
And
Well,
he did, I mean, he,
And that kind of brings up
and he's
another
still like that.
topic as far as weight loss. I think some of the old dietary rules that have been out there for years really work against the body instead of with the body. The human body is a very finely tuned machine. I mean, if you've ever studied anatomy and physiology and biochemistry, you really begin to see that. I mean, the kidneys, they regulate fluids, they regulate minerals, and they regulate salt. And the lungs, you know, they regulate, you know, the pH in the body, you know. If the body starts to get acidic, the body, you know, the lungs automatically adjust for that. And, you know, like you said, with children, they'll eat when they get hungry. And unfortunately, as we grow older, we kind of get away from that. We forget to eat when we're hungry. In fact, when we're dieting, a lot of times we say, well, I can't eat, I'll eat too much. But if you pay attention to the cues that your body gives you, eat when you're hungry, stop eating when you're full. Like I said, slow down as you eat, and you know, you'll get to the point where you're full, and then you stop. Too often, it's like, oh, that looks good, I'm going to have that. So
I'll just have one more little piece.
yeah.
That cake over there looks really, really good. I think I'll eat it.
But they've really, you know, in just the 12 years that I've been out of college, I think they've been learning more and more about how the body works, and there are things that they talk about now that I don't recall them talking about when I was in college. Did you know that lack of sleep can make you fat?
Yes,
Okay.
I was told that because I have been under so much stress and haven't been sleeping. I go to bed at 10:30 and I wake up and I think, oh my God, it's time to get up. It might be an hour and a half later. And that's the way I slept all the time. And now in the last 3 weeks, I have only woke up one time, and I have noticed that my weight has dropped. My stress has dropped too, but I'm sleeping better than I ever have.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't sleep, the body, like I said,
It
it's a
doesn't.
fine-tuned machine. It's going to try and compensate for something that
It
you're
does.
lacking. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter. You may have heard about serotonin in regards to depression sometimes. The body, you know, if you don't get enough sleep, you know, you're going to be lacking serotonin. So what the body does, it starts craving sugars and starches so that it can replenish the serotonin. And you can drink caffeine from now until doomsday, and it's not going to fix that. You know, you may get that jolt of energy, but your body's not really getting what it needs. You really need to get adequate amounts of sleep. Stress in and of itself can cause weight gain. But what it does, well, let's check my notes here. I have it written
numerous
down.
other things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I gained
Yeah, I
20
have
pounds
a-
on
I have a
stress.
friend
2
who
years
says she's
with my dad.
been dieting and exercising, and she actually gained weight. And from what I know about her, she's a single mom with a child who has some special needs, and she looks tired a lot. So you know she's not sleeping. You know she's stressed. That may be a big chunk of her problem. Trying to find the right paragraph here. But when you're stressed, your body creates something called cortisol, and it inhibits, I'm trying to find the name of it, hold on a second. It inhibits another chemical in the body that actually depresses your appetite. So if you're stressed,
I
you're going
need
to
a
have...
bottle of that.
Okay, here it is. Corticotrophin releasing hormone. You see why I needed my notes.
Yeah.
It's produced in the hypothalamus in the brain, so that's a part of the brain, and it's created there. It has the ability to reduce the desire to eat. So when you have stress, it creates another hormone called cortisol, and then that cortisol reduces the corticotropin releasing hormone. It reduces its ability to curb your appetite. So you need to learn relaxation techniques.
Yeah.
You need to get enough sleep.
Yeah,
So-
because I have found that since I've been getting more sleep, I don't, I'm not as hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't eat as
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But boy, stress will really sock the weight to you.
It can.
Stress does strange things to your whole body.
Yes, it does.
Gives you
mine
shape.
up.
I'm just getting mine back in
Yeah.
shape.
Makes you break out.
Yeah,
Uh,
that and being hyper. Being hyper. is my
So
problem.
if anyone is interested, Linda, in your weight loss program, all they have to do is give you a call,
Mm-hmm.
and your number is 883-6663.
Yes.
And Linda would be glad to help anyone that would be interested.
I can help them with setting up menus, maybe finding recipes, maybe altering recipes they already have that they would like to continue using, favorite foods that they've got. So those are just a few of the things that I can help people do. I can kind of be a detective, figure out, what's not working and help them try to figure out what would work better. Certainly do, like shopping, like a shopping tour. Take them to the store and we can, look at labels and make comparisons. And, even kind of look at some of the things that they've got on the shelf and maybe come up with some better alternatives.
Well, I had heard that your spices help you with your diets too, with your nutrition, the different spices.
Yeah,
Like ginger and cinnamon.
Yeah, there are
and
some.
nutmeg
Yeah,
and some of
cinnamon
those.
is kind of getting a reputation these days at being able to help control insulin levels. So, if you've got diabetes, oatmeal for breakfast with some cinnamon in it is a great
Now the
breakfast.
thing is,
Ooh,
cinnamon and honey.
I put cinnamon and brown sugar in it. I'm really loaded.
I think you're defeating the purpose with the brown
But
sugar.
it tastes awful good though with it. It tastes awful good with it.
Oh yeah, maybe instead of so much brown sugar, you could maybe put a little maple extract in there
Yeah,
instead.
in the food,
Give
yeah.
some flavor without so many calories.
Right.
I throw vanilla in it.
Yeah, that's good.
I experiment with a lot of things.
Okay, so Linda will be able to help you with a lot of things with your diet.
Exactly.
And if anybody needs help with nutrition,
Yeah, just
any questions?
yeah, like things, even something as simple as, I can't get my kid to eat vegetables or something, as simple as that. I mean, I've worked in WIC, so I have some experience there.
Well, thank you both for being here tonight, and Iris, tell us who's gonna be on for us on the 23rd.
Okay, on the 23rd, Eric and Nicole Bennett are going to be here. They're in a group that sings, they're practicing tonight. And he said they would be happy to come, and they thought they might bring the other ones with them.
Oh,
So that'll be good, there's 4 of them. And then we hope that we can get a hold of Ellie Douglas and Mickey for the King's Ball. And let them,
That King's
Tonight.
Ball's coming up pretty fast.
February the,
probably the
first-
second.
yeah,
The second would
Second
be
or third.
Saturday, huh?
Yeah, the
I guess the
second.
second.
Saturday.
Yeah, 'cause Ian's gonna be over in Farmington on the 1st.
Right.
I've got that down too.
Across from the
February.
courthouse.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, do we have time we have time for another song? If he wants to
Yeah,
do it.
you could
if you
sing
wanna
us
do it.
one more song.
Okay.
If you want, you don't
Maybe
really,
something
we don't
food
want to
related.
force you to.
Look how it turned as I expected. As I changed inside myself, and that truth that people once neglected, I have long since